Good day po mga ka-iPro. So for today's episode, we have a top student from St. Louis University, Baguio City na naging isa po siyang certified public accountant ng mga malalaking auditing firms dito sa Philippines. So and then sinubukan niya ang kanyang kapalaran abroad, but eventually he became part of the $1 million roundtable ng mga financial advisors and financial planners here in the Philippines. And right now, a very solid na businessman po. Okay, so let us all welcome Mr. Antonio Paulo Jimenez.
Welcome to PRONATION. You are watching a video series that inspires young professionals to create meaningful works and pursue their passions. Please welcome your host, Joma, a creator and an educator. And he is talking with pros of every profession to share their secrets, the lessons they've learned, and how they make a lasting impact.
Ang isa po kasi Sir Pao na goal ng segment na ito or ng program na ito ay para syempre ma-inspire natin yung next generation, no? Na sila ay hangarin nila na maging professional or maging pro sa mga chosen na career nila. Okay? So ano man ang career nila, whether businessman yan, investment or employment, 'di ba? Ang ano natin ay parang targetin natin na maging excellent, na maging isang pro. So first question natin kay Sir Pao is, para sa iyong standard, Sir Pao, ano ang ibig sabihin ng salitang pro?
Well, when it comes to word na pro, I think most important na dapat tignan mo is the characteristic of the person. Dapat it's not pag sinabi mo kasing pro, usually ang pumapasok sa isip natin is you know everything, 'di ba? So but in reality it doesn't work that way. When it comes to become a pro, you have to have the attitude towards excellence. So what I mean is kasi we cannot be perfect. No one's perfect. But if we try for excellence, I think we can always do better things ahead of us. Yun lang, ayun.
Okay, so ibig nitong sabihin, sir, talagang para sa iyo, no, doon sa mga sinabi mo, parang sa lahat ng ginawa mo sa career, sa naging career path mo, kasi parang sa iyo, parang mula employment, no? And then napunta ka sa self-employed, and then ngayon meron kang sarili mong business, and then may investments ka rin na sarili mo. So parang lahat kinover mo na, okay? So parang sa iyo talaga is, it is not about, tama ba? Hindi siya more on sa knowledge, kung hindi more siya sa character and attitude to really become a pro?
Yes, I think kasi I mean priority is your attitude. Yun, but also you have to have the hunger for knowledge also. What I'm trying to point with is that yung attitude mo kasi hindi pwedeng maging kampante ka na, oh, I've already achieved this, so I'm already good. You stop learning. So, but ano lang din yan, it's your attitude towards yung sa excellence nga ng sinabi ko kanina. So you have to keep yourself improving, not because of for your own goodness or for your own sake, but also to help other people. Kasi ako, I have a client base, so it's more on you look at in your clientele. You always ask yourself, what is your value adding to them? When you talk to them, what advice you can give that they could apply in their lives. Ganun. So ganun siya. So it's more on you have to prioritize your excellence through gaining more knowledge so that you can share it to other people also.
Okay, so parang ano, no, parang it will really take some time para ikaw ay maging professional, no, or maging pro, kasi parang ang mga characteristics naman ay hindi parang one time ay ma-develop mo siya, no?
Yes, that's true. And then it's a continuous process kasi yan eh. Hindi porket natapos mo na, like for example, naka-graduate ka, I already got my license, 'di ba? It's that it's more than the awards and the achievements that doesn't count as being a pro. Being a pro is a consistent learning. Kasi look what happened to us now. With just a snap of a finger, everything has changed, di ba? Even the business setups would eventually change after this pandemic. So kung hindi ka mag-upgrade ng sarili mo, mapag-iiwanan ka talaga. So your past knowledge, yes, it could help, but of course you have to look forward and move forward uh, about the changes happening to our society. Yun.
Ang galing, no? So parang yes, indication ang past natin to becoming a pro, pero yung decision mo pa rin, no? Na maging hungry ka
Yes.
doon sa napili mong profession na o yung path na napili mo. So, ikaw, Sir Pao, paano mong napili? Parang, bakit yan yung napili mong career or yung profession? Yung profession mo ngayon, bakit eventually yan talaga? Bakit hindi na ibang career?
Actually, I tried a lot of careers. Of course, the job ko, I work as a agent collection sa isang bank. So kami yung before kami yung nangongolekta sa credit cards.
Mhm.
So yun pa lang, doon pa lang I've already learned how to speak to client, yung ganun. Yun. So after nun, kasi during that time, I'm still reviewing for my board. So every week end lang ako nag nagre-review for CPA board. Then eventually nung napasa ko na yung CPA board, I become auditor. So yun, actually siguro lang medyo ano siya paano ko ba sabihin? It's not really planned na after ko graduate, I already know my path. Of course, dumating din tayo dyan sa quarter life crisis. We always ask for yung anong direction ng ating buhay. Pinagdahanan lahat yan. Kasi after the audit, I really want to be an OFW. Gusto ko magtrabaho sa abroad. But eventually, hindi nga naging maganda yung result doon. Even, yun nga ang nakapagtataka doon, Sir Joma, because I have a good credentials when it comes to school, but eventually I never had the chance to land an opportunity in Singapore. So nung pagbalik ko from Singapore, as in I'm totally zero. Wala akong kasi naubos yung savings mo because nakipagsapalaran ka doon. I'm totally zero. So I don't know where to go. So eventually I look at into insurance just to fill in yung sa resume ko lang, na ayoko lang makita sa resume ko na I was unemployed for at least one year. So yun, but eventually yun na naging okay naman when I become an insurance agent or financial advisor, and eventually need ko pa rin ng other income, so I went back to employment with a shared service accounting firm. So yun, but and then after that I look into my cash flow na okay, nagiging equal na yung employment income ko dun sa insurance commission. So eventually sabi ko I might push through yung sa insurance career. So ganun ang nangyari. So naging okay na. So nagkaroon na ng client base. So and then I'm already at my I think 8th year itong 2020 as a financial advisor. So doon na lahat. Then nag-expand into investments and business also.
Okay. So, so sa lahat ng sinabi mo na yun, parang makikita talaga natin na the reason why nasabi mo kanina na ang definition ng pro sa'yo is really attitude Kasi just like, syempre, you're one of the top, di ba, sa iyong class, parang cum laude ang graduate mo. And then parang, yes, siguro somehow parang disappointing yung nangyari sa Singapore. Pero kung titingnan natin doon, tama yung sabi mo kanina hindi basehan yung kung ano yung natapos mo, pero kung paano mong i-handle yung naging rejection na yon, di ba? Yung matinding parang, I don't
Yes.
disappointment. So,
Mm-mm.
question lang, kunyari yung mga rejection na ganun, or syempre lahat naman tayo dadating sa point na na parang meron kang ine-expect and then gusto mo talaga siya pero hindi mo siya nakuha, paano mo siyang hinandle as a pro?
When it comes to handling rejections kasi, especially when it comes to sales, masakit lang ang rejection if you're just working on one prospect. But if you have let's say for example 10 prospect in a day or in a month, 10 clients na tinitignan mo siya or you're working at, if one rejects, parang it's okay because you still have nine clients to attend to. So ganun yung naging attitude ko eh. So when it comes to rejection, it's really become part of my normal. So I don't feel bad if people will ignore you or sin zone you in Facebook, because that's the reality. Una sa lahat, even if you want to help everyone else in this business, you have to accept the fact that not everyone is welcoming when it comes to your business. So ganun lang yun. Whether when I say business, whether if it's if it's insurance or any other businesses. So you have to also know what the market feels, di ba? So hindi ibig sabihin niya na, oh, okay yung business ko. You are expecting na everyone will follow you, everyone will get from you. No, that's not the case. So once you accept that, rejection is just already part of your life. So it will just teach you siguro pag, uy, bakit hindi ko to na-close or hindi nag-push through yung business transaction. That's the time you reflect to yourself na, oh, saan ka nagkulang? If everything's okay na, uy, I did my best naman eh. So it's not really just, you just have to accept that this person is not really part of your market. So ganun lang yun. So yun.
So parang sinasabi mo Sir Pao na even in sales is yes, syempre kailangan nating i-improve yung skills natin in selling, 'di ba? Pero
Yes.
kung titingnan natin dun sa sinabi mo, it's really psychological, no? Yung pagbebenta.
Yes.
So, okay, bukod doon sa sige, benta ka lang ng benta. Sige, benta ka lang ng benta, parang next. Okay, parang ni-reject ka, okay, next. Reject ka, next. Ano sa tingin mo yung most critical part of selling? Kasi ako personally, I think na especially yung sa nangyari na pandemic na ito, no, na ang isa talaga sa mga skills na dapat matutunan ng mga Pilipino or natin para tayo ay kumita ng extra source ay pagbebenta talaga. Wala nang ibang choice na pinakamabilis kang kumita ng pera kung hindi magbenta. So ano yung kunyari ako ay nagsisimulang magbenta. Bukod sa, okay, next ka lang ng next, marami kang prospect, next ka lang ng next. Ano sa tingin mo yung pinaka-critical na part ng selling na dapat nating matutunan?
Ako I could say that knowing your product, yun talaga kasi you always have to put yourself in the shoes of your customer. So yung product ba na ibibigay mo sa client is really a value adding to them. Let's say for example, let's not just talk about insurance. Let's look at yung mga nag-o-online business ngayon, which is common, di ba? Especially yung mga food. When you sell that product, you really should know what it tastes, di ba? Hindi pwedeng ito mo but you don't really eat it, di ba? So dapat alam mo and you have it with yourself. Kunwari ako, yun ang ginawa ko. The first nung nag-umpisa ako, I tell you, I cannot afford to buy life insurance during that time nung nag-umpisa ako. But I fake it till I make it. Sinasabi ko sa client ko, even nung nag-umpisa ako, I already have this, but because I know that this product is really good for myself also, for my protection and for my family. So yun, you really have to trust your product, kasi if you don't trust your product, you will sound like a robot. I tell you, people, we human beings are social beings. So could assess and they could feel that na, oh, ito ano lang, hardcore seller. Oh, ito he cares about me because I know yung the way you talk, the way you present the product, kailangan mananiwala sila na you really believe in that. I think that's the secret of ano, and of course siguro yung good service, customer service also, because diyan mabubuhay ang referrals naman. So but that's another part of the sales cycle for the referrals. But when it comes to yung sinabi mo kasi, the question is how presentation, people should feel that they can connect through your emotions na you really care by knowing the product. Kasi if you know the product, alam mo kung ano ang para sa kanya And that in that sense, people can look at I can feel that. Yun. So yun.
So parang parang mai-transfer mo dapat sa kanila energy, no, yung passion mo.
Yes, actually
sa
that's it.
product.
Kaya minsan nung dati ako nagpe-present sa client, I see to it that my emotion is so high. So I'm excited because you're giving a good news. So if people grasp it na, excited siya masabi, so this must be something good for me. Yun yung ano. So the energy should be there. So para ma-translate at na-translate and ma-feel nila. Kasi kung napipilitan ka lang, people will feel that. Diba? So parang ano ko lang, i-close ko lang to para may commission ako, 'di ba? Let's be honest, because sales is sales. It has we cannot discount the fact that agents earn through commission. That you have to be also honest, 'di ba?
Correct. So parang kung ikaw ang magbibigay ng tip, okay, para sa mga nakikinig sa atin or nanonood sa atin, ang dapat talaga ay mamili ka ng produkto na naniniwala ka sa
Yes.
produkto na yun, and alam mo na meron siyang maitutulong sa iba, para nang sa ganun excited kang ibenta siya. Ganun ba? Para nang sa ganun ay walang pipilit sa'yo, no? Walang pipilit sa'yo na, sige, ibenta mo to para sa komisyon. Yung talagang ikaw mismo yung magdadrive sa sarili mo.
Especially when it comes to investment products, you should really know the goals of the client. And then, kasi kailangan, catered and tailored ang pagkuha ng mga investment. Kasi if hindi na-explain ng maayos, and if something happens to the investment, babalik sa'yo kung hindi mo na-explain ng ano. So it should be a really a good product that you also believe. Kung pwede nga lang, kung kaya mo ding bumili ng product na yon, bumili ka. Kasi ako kasi I cannot tell someone to buy something that hindi ko na experience. Let's say for example, investment. Let's just take the investment. I cannot encourage people to engage in stock market if I do not know what a stock market is, diba? So I've been also trading with the stocks until now. So it's really ako kasi it's more on your experience. You share it to others, diba? So what I've learned here, and then you give that advice to your client, then that's it. People grasp the knowledge from you. Kaya nga in the end, sabi ko nga, to become a pro, you really have to strive for excellence. And when you say excellence, you always update your knowledge. Yun lang yun. You always upgrade yourself, not just for your own good, but because of others seeking for your advice.
Meron akong question para sa'yo na parang really tricky. Kasi, di ba, for someone, especially sa mga nagsisimula, kasi parang ang stereotype natin pag sinabi nating accountant or accounting, okay, dahil you're an accountant, di ba? Parang pag accounting, parang
yes,
boring ang accounting parang more on numbers sila, more on nakaupo sila. Parang really interesting na papaano ang isang accountant na tingin namin ay parang boring na profession, papaano kang natutong magbenta? Innate ba siya sa'yo? Kasi, syempre, for example, may mga nakikinig sa atin na mga accountants dito, no, na gusto rin nilang magkaroon ng extra source ng income. Nga lang, syempre, dahil sila ay accountant, parang feeling nila hindi sila magaling magbenta. Pero paano mo siyang ginawa? Na accountant ka, and then, at the same time, magaling ka magbenta?
Actually, kasi ganito yan People think that selling is a talent. When you say talent, it's God-given. well, 'di ba? Let's say for example, singing, 'di ba? Everybody can sing, but not everyone can be a good singer, 'di ba? It cannot be their profession unless you have the God-given talent. But for me, ang selling kasi it's really skills. So hindi when you say skills, it can be learned. So anything else ako kasi if I can also tell you that by nature I am introvert, so I prefer to be alone. So but by profession I'm extrovert.
Mm.
So meaning ako you have to have that kind of attitude na pwede kang mag-switch, 'di ba? Na oh, because syempre this is your profession eh. You have to be also relatable. Yun yung number one. You have to be relatable, and to be a relatable, it can be learned. So I think may mga when you go to company na they have the sales nandiyan eh, sales pitch, and then ano pa ba, yung mga non-verbal and verbal communication, you all can learn that. So it's really ganito lang yun. How much do you want this profession? Yun lang, that's the only question. Kasi it doesn't lahat naman tayo kahit even nung fresh grad ako, the first thing nung pagpasok ko dito sa industry to na selling, we do not have the experience, 'di ba? Even if yung sa auditing, yes, I have the academics about it, but the experience itself, it's also new to me when I was a new hire. So the same concept applies to selling. So this if you really want to be in this profession, I think your attitude should always overcome yung mga doubts na hindi ako magaling there's a really way for you to learn selling. Kasi for me it's real selling is also an art. Yun. So if it's an art, or you can define it as a science, it can be learned. Yun lang yung point ko.
Okay. So, actually, ang interesting doon sa sinabi mo is, yes, it can be learned. Okay? Pero kung papansin natin, ang mga words sa sinabi mo kanina is, the question is, how much do you really want it? And
Yes.
dapat ma-overcome mo yung doubt, ma-overcome mo yung fear, etc. Now, ako kasi personally, hindi ako naniniwala na ma-overcome mo yung doubt or yung how much do you really want it, yung intensity na yun, kung wala kang malalim na dahilan, 'di ba? Kung bakit mo siya gagawin,
Yes.
no? So, ang interesting question doon is, ano sir yung ang term kasi nila doon is deep why, 'di ba? Ano yung why of that time? Ano yung malalim na dahilan kung bakit pinag-aralan mo to, pinagpaguran mo to, and masyado talaga yung desire mo para ma-overcome lahat ng challenges?
Actually, yes. Ang pinaka diyan sa mga agents and financial advisors is to really ask their biggest why from time to time, because nagbabago yan eh. Of course, life stage nandiyan, 'di ba? Life stage ng isang tao. Your biggest why 10 years ago may not be already applicable today. So, ang ano ko lang diyan, at that time, at the earliest part of my career, I just don't want to be in employment. Yun yung biggest why ko. So, it's either I strive good here in this industry, or I go back to employment. Sa akin nung nag-resign ako noon, there's no turning back na eh. So for me and then ang ano ko na lang noon, ang determination ko doon. Also of course I would want to secure my whole family. Syempre yung parents mo, you would also want na if something happens na hindi maganda the insurance can cover for their health as well as for their retirement. So yun na lang, yung you look at those things, how much you wanted it. Success is related to the word grit in English. So ang ano lang dito, when it comes to grit, if you translate that into Tagalog, it's yung gigil. How much you wanted it. So, yun din yung qualities ng tao na I think would really excel in any field na ano yan, if yung how much you wanted to be successful, makikita mo yan eh. Yun yung edge mo. It's not about yung IQ or whatever metrics na pwedeng ano. It's really a combination of everything. Diba? So yun. Of course, you have to also baka kasi may mga iba mas okay sa kanila na mas mataas ang EQ mo kaysa sa IQ. Ako, you have to have dapat everything and the desire to be successful. Yun yung pinaka ano doon.
Gigil ka daw. Gigil, di ba? Gigil ka dapat
Yes.
successful. So, ano lang sir, for the record, question na nga, ano na nga ba yung deep why mo nung una? Paulit.
For me, my deepest why during that time is to secure my family. Kasi right now, all of my siblings and yung parents ko, they have their insurance. For my parents, ako ang nagbabayad ng insurance nila, and alam mo, sobrang bigat din ng insurance for my parents kasi medyo tanda na sila nung nakakuha. So I'm striving to pay for that because I don't want any risk for my family also. So yun yung tinignan kong factor. So to be able to give security to my family, yun.
So kung mapapansin po natin, no, normally kasi ang tinuturo right now is ang mga deepest why mo dapat ay yung mga malalaking bagay, di ba? Yung mga grand things na magkaroon ka ng mga travel around the world, yung mga a lot of material things, di ba? Minsan yung parang maging mayaman ka agad, pero ako mapapansin natin sometimes yung mga deep whys natin ay pwede siyang maging simple lang, di ba? Pero kung yun at matindi ang intensity nung simpleng bagay na doon ka nag-start sa maliit na to secure the family, to secure my employment, kahit na yun lang, di ba? It can lead to bigger things. Ang importante is yung gigil mo sa kanila, hindi kung gaano kalaki or gaano ka grandeur yung deep why mo na sinasabi nila.
Yes, totoo yan. But as I've told you before, kasi ano yan eh, you have to also have a self-assessment every year kasi nagbabago yung biggest why mo. 'Di ba? So for example, yeah, my reason before is to secure my parents. Tapos nung nagawa mo na, it also changes, 'di ba? So you just know to prioritize yung pag nagawa mo na kasi nawawalan ka rin ng gana, 'di ba? Because if you achieve something na you dream of and then you already have that, it doesn't make sense na, 'di ba? Kasi parang so you really have to look within yourself. So I think yun nga yung dapat na ginawa natin nung lockdown also is to look within ourselves. So it's really a self-reflection dapat for us.
So ang question namin ngayon kay Sir Pau is, right now, na parang andun ka na sa sa gusto ng marami na may business and then may investments na. Ano yung biggest why mo ngayon? Kahit isa lang.
Actually, ang for me is to have businesses that would really help the society, because yun yung ko talaga, to be able to help and uplift yung other, especially for my clients, for my clients also, na to have for them to have their own security also, and then a business that would have an impact to society. As you know, medyo we are in a pandemic, and you really have to think not just for your own self and family, but this time for your community as well. Kasi if the economy of our society will not bounce back, 'di ba? So ako, right now ang ginagawa ko is I support also yung mga online sellers, 'di ba? Kasi ako, rather than buying at supermarket, I'd rather buy sa mga online sellers because it gives them I mean, for me, yun yung to help them, it means to help the family bounce back during this pandemic. So yun yung ano ko ngayon, yun yung focus ko for this year. So ako kasi nagbabago-bago talaga ang biggest why ko. And ano, it changes depends on the condition and also yung ano ko. Kasi once na achieve mo, you have to look for another reason. So for me during this pandemic, it's really to help bounce back not only the society but also yung every family sana. But I do not have that resources na sobrang laki, but I can help by encouraging them to do online because there's nothing wrong with it. Every there's nothing to be ashamed if naghihigpit ka or you're doing a budgeting right now because everyone felt the pandemic and the crisis. So for me, we just have to help one another. Yun lang.
Para ano, no? At least kumikita ka ng marangal, sabi nga nila, di ba? Hindi importante kung
Yes,
paano
that's
siyang
true.
kita. Okay. So ayan, so sir, balik tayo doon sa doon sa profession mo when it comes to sa insurance naman, no. And doon sa pagiging financial advisor. Kasi syempre, most kasi minsan nangyayari na madami tayong stories na napapakinggan na parang hindi nila alam kung ano yung nangyari doon sa insurance nila, basta nakakuha sila, di ba? Parang yun yung
Yeah.
term natin, nabentahan lang sila ng mga insurance agents. So, for you, para doon sa mga para sa mga insurance agents, paano nating ma-reach yung excellent level when it comes to giving advice sa ating mga clients nang hindi naman dehado masyado yung kliyente. And syempre, hindi ka rin naman dehado. So, paano yun? Kasi syempre, alam natin yung challenge eh. Walang benta, syempre, ano ang kakainin ng pamilya, di ba? Walang benta, paano na yung, paano sa kinabukasan, paano na expenses sa susunod na buwan. So, siguro, ito yung mga dahilan kung bakit napipilitan, di ba? Na minsan mag-misrepresent tayo sa product na binebenta natin kahit na alanganin doon sa kliyente talaga. Pero para sa mga ganon na situations, kung ikaw ang tatanungin, ano ang masasabi mo or paano natin siyang mababago?
Well, when it comes to insurance, more than anything else, this should be a um, relational with your client. Kasi you are getting personal data from the clients eh. So dapat yung your presence would be felt by the client and as well as medyo kasi ang diyan mahirap if medyo lumaki na yung client base mo, 'di ba? Pag not all the time you can meet your clients. Pag yun yung nagiging dilemma eh. So pag hindi medyo lumaki na yung client base mo. But I think the more important is when you close the deal, it is you have explained well the product and at the same time your client understood what they are getting from you. So dapat na-explain mo the most of the products that they are getting is for long term, so they do not expect anything in the first few years, 'di ba? So maybe it's a complementary for their retirement or for the educational fund of the children. So yun ang ano ko talaga even tama ka na we are in pandemic but misrepresentation is really unethical, 'di ba? Kasi we also have to adhere to our ethical standards of our industry also. So mahirap 'yan eh kasi it will always go back to you kapag may misrepresent ka. 'Di ba? Kasi in case of emergency or at the time that the client would really need the 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 product, let's say for example for critical illness tapos may misrepresentation kang ginawa, anong mukha mo ang may papakita sa client, 'di ba? So but also you have to also tell your client kasi misrepresentation, it's really unfair to tell naman na the misrepresentation also happens lang sa financial advisors side, dapat ang client mo din is also loyal. I mean honest.
Ano lang, marami bang nagtatanong ngayon ano? Marami bang mga nagtatanong na kliyente ngayon na covered ba kami ng ano? Marami bang
Yes, of course. That's number one question because of the anxiety that people are feeling right now. Kasi lahat sa lahat ang ano naman, most of insurance companies ang ino-offer is critical illness.
mm,
And if you look at into COVID, it's not part of critical illness, di ba? So hindi naman kasi yan na aside from it is new disease, so hindi siya talaga covered so for critical illness. But what is covered is if you got COVID and the complications turn into a critical illness, which most likely it would be an impairment, long-term impairment in your lungs. If napatunayan yon, then you could claim to your insurance company if and only if it is stated in the policy that yung chronic lung disease is part of the critical illness. So for I think yun lang, you have to your clients would really understand about it if you just explain it well, because this is something new.
wow, so ito yung ano, ito yung definition ng pro talaga, 'di ba? Like sabi ni Sir Pao kanina, to become a pro ay dapat to sell something dapat knowledgeable ka talaga sa product mo, yeah? Na dapat alam mo talaga yung produkto mo. So makikita natin na kung paano in-explain ni Sir Pao ay pro talaga dahil alam na alam niya talaga kung ano yung sa product niya na meron, okay? So Sir Pao, few last questions. Ano ang nakikita mong future ng profession mo right now? So ano muna, no? Wag na muna tayo doon sa business profession and being an investor, okay? Siyempre, mas accessible kasi para sa mga normal na tao, like sa mga working class, na magdagdag sila ng additional source of income and become a financial advisor or a financial planner, no, na kagaya mo na nakita natin na kahit na CPA ka na and then meron ka ng trabaho talaga na full time, ay pinili mo pa rin na magkaroon ng part time, and then eventually yung part time mo na yun yung isa sa mga naging malaking source talaga ng income mo, no. So since yun ang accessible na po pwede nating maging profession, na maging source of income, ano yung nakikita mong future para sa profession?
Actually, eto, ang nakikita ko when it comes to our profession is that currently, let's admit it, that this pandemic has become an eye-opener to every one of us, that we really need to look into our health insurance, di ba? Kasi yung our, as as you have seen, medyo nahirapan ang ating health system, 'di ba? Our own government health system to combat yung to cater all the expenses when it comes to health. So it's already an eye opener. But I'm not expecting na since my eye opener, I'm not really expecting that everyone will buy at this point because of the crisis naman. So everyone is on tight budget. So but eventually when the economy bounce back, we are looking at yun ang unang ipa-prioritize ng tao is to get and secure for their health insurance. So ang advice ko din sa mga tao ngayon, especially Filipinos na audience natin, that this is a right time for us also to look at alternative additional income, because as you can see, other countries have already been doing that long time before. In US, if you will live there, hindi ka pwedeng mabuhay with just one income, di ba? So they have 3 jobs, minsan 9 to 5, and then 6 to 10 they have another job, and then weekends meron pa silang trabaho. So it's we should learn from this pandemic and crisis that we cannot really live with one income alone, 'di ba? Sabi nga for you to become a millionaire at this point, you really need at least 7 streams of revenues or income, 'di ba? So it's about time for us to look and venture into other things, especially if you want to have this kind of career. Hindi ka naman mag-shell out ng capital eh.
Mm.
The ang kailangan mo lang dito is you upgrade your skills, and yun, and consider maybe, 'di ba? You might consider this to be your second source of income, and eventually you can, 'di ba? Ako kasi I'm biggest fan of Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant, because it's very true. You have to spread your income, so at least dapat meron ka on all quadrants sana. And for that, if we succeed on that, it will keep you afloat when it comes to crisis just like this. Yun lang. Yun.
Okay. So, kung ako ay nagsisimula and kung ako ay magsisimula no na maging isang na maging isang insurance advisor or a financial planner, do you think having a mentor to guide me magiging malaking factor ba siya, or okay na bira ka lang ng bira basta alam mo yung produkto mo, basta gigil ka?
Yes, of course, because mentoring is very, very important to in anything. Kasi experience, if the experience of other people is shared to another individual, it it creates a shortcut eh, 'di ba? So it really pays to listen to someone who is credible in the industry also, kasi they've been there eh, so they already knows the do's and don'ts in this industry. And if you really put it in your heart and then take it na talagang okay, ito ang nangyari nung ito, ganito ang nangyari, 'di ba? It will be a prevention on your part also, 'di ba? So it saves times for me. Mentoring in this kind of business is a shortcut for your success. So yun.
Okay. So, meron bang paraan para, okay, parang sa lahat ng mga gustong mag-start and sa mga gustong maging
Mm.
professional sa career na ito no in investment advisory or insurance advisory, financial planning. So, one is kailangan natin na magkaroon talaga ng mentor or maghanap ng mentor. Question is, nahahanap ba ang isang mentor in insurance?
Yes, of course. Sa insurance kasi, we have this also organizations, the LUAP, na pwede silang ang umattend ng ano, and they have great programs also for mentoring. So yun they could access to that once they already chose this career to be part of that organization. And another marami pa. So aside from that, this also creates a connection also, yung ano, like for example, may mga designations na like RFP, RFC, not only for yung to be a registered financial planner, ganun, not only limited to insurance industry, but also for investment people na talagang um they would really want to succeed in their own. Like for example, yung RFP, they also cater for real estate agents and for investment brokers. So it creates connection, which would eventually you'll be needing in this industry.
Mm. So parang ano naman pala 'no, hindi naman pala gano'n talaga kahirap na maging na pumasok sa field na 'yan, even if kailangan ba na meron akong background sa finance? Dapat ba ako ay accountant para ako ay maging isang para ako ay mag-grow pa or maging isang pro sa profession na 'yan?
You don't really need the degree, but you really have to keep your selves with supplemental learnings. Kaya nga sinabi ko, may mga designations like yung mga RFP, RFC for you to do the finance. Kasi let's admit this, is investment is something financial. So you really have to know financial, but it's not a requirement na you have a financial background. But it's a must that you have to learn through supplemental learnings of all things about investment.
Okay. And
Ayun.
doon sa mga sinabi mo, sir, kanina, accessible pa rin naman siya, no? Hindi naman
Yes.
siya yung mahirap talaga. So talagang kagaya nung sabi mo kanina, so parang ang mga natutunan natin dito sa session natin kay Sir Pao ay una, syempre, kung gusto natin maging pro doon sa career na ito, dapat maghanap tayo ng mentor para ma-shortcut natin yung mga bagay na mga dapat nating matutunan. Okay? Para sa ganun ay mas maging okay tayo. Ikalawa ay dapat maging excellent tayo. Pag sinabi ni Sir Pao na excellent ay dapat consistently hungry tayo for learnings. Dapat consistently nag-i-improve tayo. Okay? Dapat alam natin yung product na ibinebenta natin para sa ganun ay excited tayo, energetic tayo dahil in selling, sabi ni Sir Pao, dapat maita-transfer natin yung energy na yon doon sa pinagbebentahan or doon sa tao na pinag-sharean natin nung product natin. Dapat meron tayong empathy, okay? And of course, sabi ni Sir Pao ay yung when it comes to your deep why, dapat ikaw ay may gigil, dapat ikaw ay to become successful ay the question is how much do you really want it? Okay? Para nang sa ganun ay ma-overcome mo lahat ng mga magiging challenges, ma-overcome mo yung fear, ma-overcome mo yung doubt for you eventually to become successful. So, thank you Sir Pao. Last word, Sir Pao, para sa mga nakikinig and nanonood sa atin.
At this point that we are in a crisis and pandemic, I think the best thing that we could do for us to start is really to invest in ourselves. And when it comes to investing in ourselves, we should have that determination for new learnings and to try new things, because if you do not do that, it's really hard to adapt into a new normal, especially all of us, even as the already existing financial advisors, we have to adapt into this yung online, 'di ba? Everything becomes online. So dapat maging ano ka diyan to keep you afloat and to help you move forward is also to adapt to the changes that this pandemic has impacted us also. Yun lang. So start with new knowledge and upgrade your skills. And this is also the best time for us to be consistent with our work. Dapat second, if you want to do second income, to have new income, it should not be a conflict to your first income also. Kasi, 'di ba? Baka ma-compromise naman yung main source mo. So, yun lang.
Okay, so with that, we will end this session. Thank you very much, Sir Pao.
Okay, thank you, Sir
Yan ang
Joma.
mga words ng isang pro talaga.